Good morning, pregame crew. It is Tuesday, January 17th, 2023, 8:22 a.m. Eastern, 6:22 a.m. Mountain Time. You are at the pregame show. Thank you for being here. I appreciate it. This is a show where in about 8 minutes I get started with indices, commodities, crypto, and movers and shakers of the day. Between now and then, I'm going to say hello to my friends, do an audio visual check, and take a couple chart requests. I am having one small audio visual issue on TradingView. I'm trying to fix that real quick. Just give me about 10-15 seconds, please. See if I can fix it. Doesn't look like I can. Fun times. Okay, that's all I can do. All right. Perfect night truck. Thank you. Hi, Lou, Greg, Bob, Andre, Matthew, Joe. Good morning. Hey, Biok. Ludovic, Keith. Hey, Dove. Hey, Step. Welcome back. Hey, Casey, Sam, Ed. Killian, good day. Mighty Pawns. Perfect. Hey, Trainer Dan. Patrick. Aw, Gareth, you're so sweet. Hey, Roger, bonjour. XBI. So the target on XBI, the hourly inverse head and shoulders were to confirm, would be the height of the head. So that would be $2.77. Nope. Trying to do it from the body of that candle. There we go. About $84, if that makes sense. If we were to break the neckline at 86.34, the low of Friday, the target for bears would be around $84. Of course, you don't absolutely wait for that. In my opinion, you scale out as you're into profit, but that's what I would do. You're welcome. Yeah, hit the like button. Hey, Norma in Mexico, Michael, Carlos. Hey, Nugget, Corey. All right. MNMD. MNMD. I think someone said at a 22% week, if I remember correctly. Or something like that. Let's see. For the year, it's up 37% since December 31st. Pretty big. I don't know if that was a big miss, Chris. Let's look at it right here. 10.59 billion was expected, and they had 10.7 billion. I'm very cautious of my adverb choices in trading. Like it's dropping, or even verb choices. It's dropping so precipitously. It's dropping so fast. Let's see. I'll try one more thing. That's exactly how I have it, Jason. It's not working. Arrgh. All right. Yep, Mara is here in the list of names that I will be covering today. Right there. It's definitely one of the Queen of the Mountains. Hi, Ninja in Poland. We will go over Tesla. And Matthew, you silver bug you. We have a 4-hour downtrend just confirmed on silver. We hit 24.04. We broke that low. Didn't get a ton of follow through, but I would say that the bears are making a little bit of progress where bulls have had a lot of control for a while now. But bears made some progress this morning, and now a bear is sitting up here waiting. Oh, change that. A bear is waiting for a potential top fish for another lower high on the hourly compared to 24.53. Hi, Ricky in Miami. We'll get started in 3 minutes. Hey, bro, how are you, Red Dev? Chris? I just did XBI. I know you're a little late. Yellen, you just told on yourself. Hey, Trey. Okay, go back up. Okay, Ed. Man, you ADA people, it's crazy. When I hear someone say that they trade crypto, I met someone this weekend. It's like, yeah, I trade crypto. I've been trading it for 2 years. It's like, you go, boy. So funny. He's like, ADA is the best, Cardano. And it's really interesting. Whatever this technology is that I purposefully choose not to understand, y'all like it a whole lot. God bless you. If you don't believe in something, you'll fall for anything, right? 4-hour EQ on ADA, potential daily bull flag, not the ideal bull flag that you want to bring home to mom, because look at these upper wicks of bears selling into the pop. Weekly 21 EMA overhead. Nice tight 4-hour EQ. Bulls are holding these 4-hour EMAs with no problem whatsoever. So it's bullish until it's not. Corey, it's still bullish, but I wouldn't be a buyer up here. So there's a difference between looking at a chart. Is this chart bullish? Absolutely. Look at that V-shaped bounce from a lower low. Definitely a bullish chart. Does that mean you buy it long here at this location? No. Two different things. 4-hour RSI is at 78, and daily RSI is just approaching overbought straight from a lower low. Bears are licking their chops actually on this one. Okay, Ed, maybe that's what it is then. I honestly, I have zero interest in fundamentals of crypto. I love trading it, but I don't have interest in the fundamentals. And when I do have interest in fundamentals stuff, I go down a rabbit hole and I go deep because my personality, I have to know everything about it if I'm interested in it, but zero interest in crypto fundamentals. Cake, okay. I'm assuming you mean cheesecake and not the crypto coin. Potential daily bull flag, again, not the ideal one with that upper wick of profit taking. Weekly higher high ran into the 200 MA. We have a double top at 39.70, 39.44. Hourly, we lost the uptrend, not getting a ton of follow through. So again, it could be that bull flag on a higher time frame. So bears need to be cautious here because are we overbought on the daily? Yeah, we're still overbought on the daily. Bears may still have a little bit left of meat on the bone, but I'd be a much more comfortable bull buying the pullback than a bear shorting the rip. I will go over Tesla. All right, it's 6:31. Let's get started. Good morning. This is who I am. I'm Chart Gal Lori. I'm part of the Chart Guys community. We teach technical analysis. And what I do here every morning is I go over indices, commodities, crypto, movers, and shakers of the day. If you want to give me a follow on Twitter at Chart Gal Lori, that would be wonderful. I have this table that I use to communicate to you what I'm looking at for the day, even though this table has a slight lean bearish. If you look at Bitcoin from this long weekend, you can't help but come in today thinking risk on environment. If people are putting money to work like this in Bitcoin, then they're not super scared of the market. Look at that daily chart. That is unbelievable. That gives a whole new meaning to the word parabolic. Just beautiful. Now we're struggling up here at this resistance of 2147880. It doesn't mean it's game over for bulls, but they do have a lot of work still left to do to get through that level, and they need to cool off RSI a little bit. And this is as healthy as you could possibly dream of. As a bull, this is what you want to see. Consolidation in time and not price. You see how we're cooling off RSI? So RSI is going down while price is going sideways. That is a super bullish scenario. You're like, going sideways is bullish? Yes. After a huge run up like this and you consolidate sideways, that shows that bulls are completely in control. Look at that 8 EMA holding price. So I normally say Bitcoin for after the indices, but I wanted to go over it first because I think that is the carry forward narrative for the day. Is we're this weekend, market participants proved that they were risk on mindset by buying Ethereum, Bitcoin, and all things crypto. So despite some of the nuances of what I'm looking at being a little more bearish, i.e. the table, I'm still leaning more bullish based on Bitcoin. And then something else struck me this weekend. If you don't know, we have a swing report service, and I do the market wins video every weekend. Well, this weekend I was looking at this and thinking, man, what an accomplishment by QQQ bulls to get up and over the daily 50 EMA. We're over the daily 8 and 21 EMA. We're not over the daily 200 EMA. But just so eyeball this chart real quick, put it in your memory. Where's the yellow line relative to price? The daily 50 EMA. Now I want you to look at one of its largest components, Apple. Do you see how far Apple is from the daily 50 EMA? And Microsoft, we're at the daily 50 EMA, but we're not over it. And look at Tesla. Look how far Tesla is from the daily 50 EMA. Now let's go back to QQQ. So bear with me here. We are over the daily 50 EMA on QQQ, and Apple is not, Tesla is not, Microsoft is not. So QQQ was able to accomplish this feat without its largest generals in the same momentum, pulling in the same momentum. So QQQ is over the daily 50 EMA and its biggest holdings are not. That is bullish. That is very bullish. Because what happens when Apple and Tesla get their life in order and start pushing bullish? That should really help the market. So we were able, it's just like a basketball team winning the game and LeBron is your number one player and Pippen is your normal, you see I'm going back in time, Pippen and Larry Bird, you have three of the best NBA players that ever lived, Michael Jordan. All four of them are homesick. And they didn't participate in the game, and you still won. How strong is that basketball team? They are absolutely amazing. And that's what I'm saying is QQQ is winning the basketball game, and they don't have LeBron on the court. They don't have Michael Jordan on the court. What the heck is going to happen when they do get on the court? So thank you for indulging me with that long analogy, but Bitcoin and QQQ strength despite major players' involvement, I think that screams pretty heavily bullish for me this week. Now let's look at the economic calendar. And I promise y'all come in here every day. Lori, we got this, we got that. Trust me, I know. It's my job to know. Investing.com is always up on my screen, and I'm always hyper aware of the high volatility news events that are anticipated for the week, including earnings. I'm always looking at it. As a trader, I need to know, and as someone who comes before you every morning to stand behind you and tell you something I know nothing about. That's a joke. Someone who has to come in front of you every day, I have to be prepared. I must know these things. So yes, we have PPI tomorrow. We have initial jobless claims and Philadelphia Manufacturing Index on Thursday, existing home sales on Friday. And then most importantly, PPI is the most important thing for me this week. And the second most important thing is Netflix earnings on Thursday. So yes, we have a lot of things ahead, and it still doesn't taint my view of where I'm looking slightly more bullish than bearish. All right, so we have ES is at the key weekly 50 MA. This could be a fly in the ointment, and or if you want to say, I need to say, quit using so many analogies. This could be a problem for the bulls. We have the weekly 50 MA overhead, and we haven't been able to have a candle close above that since March of last year. That is a big deal. I don't know why I said Pippen. I loved his rebounding. So, you know, I played center for my basketball team, so I'm all about rebounds. All right. So ES cleared the daily 200 MA, but we are at the daily 50 MA. That could prove to be a problem for the bulls. Now let's get into the nitty gritty. We have a 4-hour EQ, an equilibrium where we got a higher high, higher low, lower high, higher low, and we're tightening inside this pattern. So we could have a 12-hour bull flag on all 4 of our indices, ES, YM, RTY, and NQ. Why did I just blank on NQ, the most important one? So we could have a 12-hour bull flag. What does that mean? That means we could break bearish right here, break 399,675, 4,000 and 399,675, get tiny follow through, then resume higher and confirm that bull flag. So I'm watching for potential fake outs with this 12-hour bull flag on the table. We have a nice tight 4-hour EQ for clarity. And we had Morgan Stanley this morning with a beat, and we had Goldman Sachs with a slight miss. Okay, NASDAQ, it's the same story, just copy and paste. And by the way, speaking of copying and pasting, I have my notes on the other screen. I'll be sharing these with TCG members, as always, when I'm done. All right, the Hang Seng was down 0.78 overnight. I wanted to point that out here. And DAX is back to flat. All right, going over my notes, make sure I covered everything for the intro. All right, bonds. It was Rodman. Pippen was the one who played with, was it Isaiah? You're right. You're totally right. Pippen was more of a forward. I remember now, it was Rodman with the rebounds with the crazy hair. All right, bonds. Bonds are pulling back than market bulls would like to see. So it's pulling back more, yet the market is still in pretty good shape. It's quite impressive. A 4-hour lower high is anticipated on the next bounce for bonds. Slight bear divergence with bonds there. Looking at the dollar 4-hour EMAs continue to whack-a-mole price. We want the dollar to continue to go down for the markets to continue to go up. They've had that inverse relationship. And I'm always watching for when relationships diverge or disconnect. And I make note of it. So we're pretty flat overnight on ES. We're down 0.2%, yet VIX is up 2.5%. I pay attention to that. So we have more fear entering the market, but it's not really inverse the market exactly. It's more exaggerated. So that's just something to note. That's a little bear divergence for the market as well. All right, let me give you those levels. So if I don't call out levels, you can always refer to these light gray numbers over here that correspond with my horizontal rays of resistance and support. If you want to copy those down, take a screenshot for your charts. RTY, 4-hour EQ, potential 12-hour bull flag. And we are consolidating. This is the same thing we talked about on Bitcoin applies to these indices. We are consolidating sideways in time versus price. That is bullish. Best case scenario, cool off that RSI while you go sideways, cool it off. That way you give enough runway for another leg up. No, I'm not talking Saints or Bobby Hebert. All right. So YM did break bearish. That's interesting. We broke bearish by $33. And we're not getting a ton of follow through yet. So let's see what the bulls can do with this. And YM also has a potential 12-hour bull flag. Again, with RTY, NASDAQ, and ES. As you can see, they're all pretty healthy. Okay, let's look at Bitcoin. So Bitcoin was unable to get over this level over here, 2147880 Overnight, we hit, was that overnight? Whatever day that was. Monday. Midday, we hit 2146.562. Again, the Bitcoin bulls look just fine, consolidating sideways, holding those hourly moving averages like a boss. Absolutely no problems here. Ethereum, same thing, no problems, unable to get through that weekly level of 1677. We hit 1603.91, consolidating in time and not price, healthy. Gold's pulling back more than the gold bulls would have liked to have seen. We're holding the 4-hour EMAs. A 4-hour lower high is not a guarantee here, but I guess it would be the most likely scenario. We're getting trapped now under the hourly moving averages. So with gold, gold has had a great run, and I'm not saying the run is over. Look at this parabolic move. It looks to be consolidating in a healthy way at the moment. Oil, I had a great short on oil yesterday. I posted my entry and exit in our chat room. I'm no longer interested in that short with this daily just continuing to churn. And it's like energy woke up today and chose violence for the bears. Look at oil. This is a pretty chart. I mean, this hourly move up is pretty. And then look at nat gas. Nat gas is up 8%. So I would not tangle with the energy bulls today. I'd let them do their thing if that's what they want to do. Odds favor a daily lower high on this chart with the size of this pullback, and that was my thesis for the entry. But bulls are showing no signs of stopping. There's no reason for me to fight these bulls on the next pullback. There's enough room for an hourly higher low. I will say this though, I'm a more comfortable bear on oil than I am a bull, but I'm neither at the moment as far as seeking an active trade. Good morning, and hit that like button. It says there are 400 of you and only 94 of you have hit that like button. I just don't know that that's completely fair. Just kidding. Do you, boo. Do whatever you want. Okay, so nat gas, daily 8 EMA firmly overhead, and I'm just going to give credit where credit's due because I did not see this. Dan was pointing out a potential falling wedge yesterday, and he posted it this morning in the commodities area, so you could see this falling wedge that Dan is pointing out on the 12-hour. And that's great, and I totally agree with the assessment, but I just don't know that you could enter bullish that you could enter responsibly bullish up here. I think a pullback buy makes the most sense if you're trying to nail this 12-hour falling wedge. I'd want an entry closer to 3646, which is the gap fill from the gap up on yesterday. All right, Apple Bull said, "We'll show you, Lori. Don't you dare put a trend line over our head." So potential rising wedge watch is what I was watching on Apple, but I'm not so sure about it now. We've gone from green to red. The market is bouncing, and overall my thesis is bullish. So I need to be careful with this thought, but I want you to just kind of take a mental snapshot here of Apple, and then I'm going to go to Amazon. Do you see the difference just in slope? So if we just look at slope, let's pretend like we're in geometry again in high school. Look at that slope. That is a nice steady uptrend, higher highs with follow through. I don't see that this slope is the same. It seems to give back a large part of the move. And it's like, okay, let's go get a higher high. And then it gives back a large piece of the move and it goes again. So I was looking for potential 2-hour rising wedge. It looks like the bulls are trying to negate that. I did want to show you my hourly 50 MA, my Great Wall of Louisiana that I like to call it. Do you see how it saved the day? I should paint it white for it's a cavalry. It comes in to save the day. I envision cavalry as a white horse. I don't know. Okay, I probably need to not talk like that again. Okay, so high from Friday, 134.92 after hours. 130. Let's do this morning. I don't trust that wick right there. 135.38. 4-hour RSI is not overbought on Apple, and it has room. Apple has room to move. Amazon's a little more pegged up here at 4-hour RSI at 76. Do you see that? Amazon bulls are still in control. I wouldn't let myself get ran over by them, but Apple has more room to run because of RSI. Look at that hourly 50 MA save. Beautiful. So you can make a simple statement, whatever name you're looking at, as long as it's holding these hourly EMAs in the low of Friday, they are Gucci. They are good to go. Bulls are good. And until that character changes, bulls are in charge of whatever chart you're looking at, as long as that remains the case. NVIDIA? You are kind of a big deal, Jay Stevens, but we already knew that. We knew that. Okay, NVIDIA has been getting wonderful follow through. And this was a pretty cool chart. I don't like messing with my chart when I'm live with y'all because it always ends in violence for me. But I thought this was cool. Look at this 50 MA when it crosses down through the 200 MA on the daily. We dropped 50%. If you would have taken that trade on one piece of data, let me hide everything else too. Thank y'all for indulging me with these type things. I think it's an important exercise, especially for those of you who are saying, I work and I need a simple system. All these correlations and these 5-minute charts, you're making my head hurt. Okay, well, let me help you. Here's the daily 50 MA. Do you see how the slope changed here at 12956? You see how the slope changed and we're pointing up? When the 50 MA crosses back over the 200 MA, what if 50% is possible to the upside once that happens? That's something I'd be watching for. You could develop an entire system. Now I'm going to keep going and mess with everything and then be pissed later when nothing works. That's a bad word. That P word is bad, kids. Why did that? Oh, well, I'm going to go back to where I was. That didn't work. Okay, so we'll have to deal with those pivots. But look at, let's see, when was the last 8 and 21 cross on NVIDIA? Back here, February 2019, it crossed where price was about $40. If you would have stayed in until it crossed to the downside, you would have exited around 227. I think that's something that you would have been fine with as far as gains. Well, now I'm telling you the same phenomenon could be occurring or setting up for a long in NVIDIA for the 50 to cross the 200 MA. Again, I'm not trying to oversimplify, or maybe I am. Maybe I am trying to oversimplify swinging. I just want you to know that would send a strong signal to bulls that, hey, we're back in control. And people like to call that the golden cross. All right, we're back to normal. Tesla, we are tackling 125.95 in pre-market. We're pulling back a little bit here, but Tesla has definitely been the story this morning. A lot more strength than most. Above 125.95 confirms this little inverse head and shoulders on the daily. Okay, hit the undo button a few times. Okay. Oh, right there. Y'all are always teaching me something. Thank you, Dirtpo. I like your name. MARA. Gosh, have mercy. Y'all crack me up. Looking for potential consolidation today in first back burner trade and regular trading hours. So we got MARA up 8.7% on the backs of Bitcoin bullishness from the weekend. I would look for a Bitcoin to have a topping pattern, meaning Bitcoin needs to pause for this trade idea to work. Otherwise, you're going to get ran over in the worst of ways. A name with a high short percentage, short float percentage. Okay, 8.74%, 8.74% over here. That is your resistance, and we're running into that in pre-market. So you could take a top fish against 874 on the next bounce. And the safer play is just wait for the market to open, let the first 30 minutes play out, and then start looking for a top fish. It may be too late, but that is a way that you could play it. Microsoft got a downgrade this morning. I've been flipping it short this morning. So we got a downgrade, and we're at the daily 200 MA. We have a daily inside bar. The daily 50 MA is at 239.37. We rejected Thursday at 239.90, and then Friday at 239.37. And then we have that downgrade this morning. So Microsoft is definitely the scrawny kid in the playground. If you want to pick on the scrawny kid, I would pick on Microsoft to the short side. I think that is my number one short idea for the day. I have it up here. Now, if the market's bullish, I'm just going to stay with my bullish names, which Tesla is the biggest bull for me this morning, and Microsoft is the biggest bear. Plug, we had a trade idea on that Friday for a potential short. It worked. These are my exact lines from last Friday. I'm going to delete the lines now. And now we have a potential hourly head and shoulders. So I like plug to the downside for a potential top fish setup. We have a daily inside bar from Friday, and I'm just looking for a flip. I'm not looking for a $4 winner or anything. All right, Riot. We have a member, John's Charts. He was pointing out that Riot has just bounced from the lower low with no trend change straight into overbought. I like that pickup. I think Riot is a top fish against 664. Again, this may be better and less risk if you wait for the market to open to potentially top fish this ticker. Top fishing against 664. So let's see. Let me summarize. Apple looks good. Had a potential rising wedge, but the bulls are fending that off. They're looking much better now. Amazon, we're overbought on so many time frames, but it's been the lead bull, and it is until it isn't, so don't get ran over by them. Nvidia keeps cooling off RSI in a responsible way. We're getting over that daily 200 MA, impressive. Tesla is my bull choice for the day. Microsoft and Plug and Riot are my bear choices. And then Mara is a second best to Riot. Riot's a better short idea. Nat gas is taking off. Again. Nah, still pulling back. But yes, it looks great. All right. Let's see. Okay, I see multiple people ask me about MARA, so did I cover it well? I think I did. 818 is your support, and your high of Friday could act as support on a pullback, so watch that 812. All right, thank you for joining me. I really appreciate it. Hit that like button before you hit that exit door. Hit that subscribe, notify button. Give me a follow on Twitter at CharkAlLori and TCGers. I'll copy those notes over into the room in just a second. Use stop losses. I don't know of any news with Tesla. I didn't see any, but that doesn't mean they don't have news. Now I'm really gone.